Hi there. Thank you so much for having me this morning. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. My full name is Alexandra Mosachuk, and I am applying for the financial analyst role for the Department of Health for the state of Arizona. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am graduating with a degree in public policy and public affairs this December from Arizona State University. It's been a long ride, but I'm very thankful I finally got here and I will have this degree and I can apply for fantastic roles like the financial analyst role. So, just to tell you, part of my career goals as working for the bank was to use my finance knowledge and combine it with my love for Arizona and servicing the people. So, this will tie into a little bit about why I decided to study public policy. So, when I was 19, I had to declare a major. All I knew was I wanted to work for the state. I was very passionate about my hometown, Scottsdale. I think it's the most beautiful town that there is in the United States. It could just be biasm. But I think Arizona has done a great job with utilizing their resources to provide for the people of Arizona and to really grow the whole state. Did you know that Phoenix is the third growing city right now? Well, it is. So, this is why I just wanted to be a part of that. And I wanted to give the next generation a more better Arizona. There's always room for improvement, and I want to be part of it. And I think my personality, my empathy, and my desire to serve others and do good that's greater than myself really helped me determine that public policy would be a great career for me. By the way, while I was in school, the one thing that I really learned was how to write amazing research papers. And I learned fantastic grammar, and I can apply that to the financial analyst role when I need to communicate via any kind of written channel, whether that would be email or writing essays or writing about the reports. That was the one thing that Arizona State University did such a great job in preparing me. I wrote so many research papers that were over 10 pages where I had to analyze data, analyze and do research, and to write a compelling argument at the end as to what I've learned and what the trend shows. And I think that's what the financial analyst role really wants you to do, is to demonstrate what the trend shows and what the data shows and how the numbers can be applied to determine this end result. Now, what I learned and what skills and knowledge I acquired from Chase Bank was quite a couple of them. I would like to start with the main one, which is the understanding financial industry, understanding how to help your clients and make the most of their money, and how I would use that knowledge for the financial analyst role. So once I got licensed in the six, I really understand beyond just the basic checking and savings accounts and CD. I started helping customers in having conversations about beating inflation, accumulating wealth, leaving a legacy, just making the most of your money. Why is that important? It's important because these are the resources people need to give a better life to their children, to pay for their school, to pay for their college, to live in a better home, to be able to have a better car, to be able to visit your parents and not worry about flights, or have that dream vacation, show your kids the world. These are part of what makes us human. And unfortunately, part of having these experiences is having the resources. And a lot of the times we'd say, did you know that 50% of people right now don't have enough resources that if they were to be laid off, that they could survive for the next 6 months? So what I would do is sit with my clients and kind of look at their assets, look at their liabilities, and look at what are some of their short-term goals, what are their long-term goals. A lot of the times retirement would come into place, right? So these are some of the things that I'd done after I was able to get licensed. And this is what really helped me understand the core about what a banker does. A banker is so much more than changing a simple PIN on a debit card or just opening a checking account. There's quite a lot that you can do with the industry. And although I really appreciate my time there, what I'd ultimately like to do is use my knowledge of the financial industry and how I've helped clients make the most of their money and apply to the financial analyst role, which is my ultimate career goal right now. And the reason why is if I can do that, And those that make the decisions can use my research, my data, my interpretation of the data, my prediction of trends. Then they can use that information and make the best decision in helping the state of Arizona and apply those resources or save funds where they needed. And that is how we can make the state better, just like I made the lives of my clients better. So that was what I learned in the banking industry, as being a relationship banker. The second thing that I learned was as a teller, actually, which is my first entry-level role. And it was a little bit more than just running deposits and making payments and doing withdrawals. Actually, what I learned that was the biggest takeaway was running reports and putting in data entry on Excel. And Excel became a really big thing for me when I became a custodian of the vault and the ATM and all the cash boxes. And so what that meant is every couple of months, every quarter, depending on the entity, sometimes even once a week, I have to go in Excel, update the numbers, make sure the cash is up to date of what is needed, and just get all the entities ready for audits. As well as whenever my manager needed it, I'd have to run a report and make sure the Excel was up to date. So that was the biggest takeaway. And not only did I learn to use Excel and write data reports, but I really mastered it. And I think Excel has become a huge strong suit for me and will really help me in the financial analyst role, because you're working with data and figures. And this is something that I now know how to do and love to do and can do in my sleep. So another thing that I learned being a personal banker, when I moved up from a teller and I moved to a personal banker, the biggest takeaway for me was working with different people. And I don't mean just clients. If a client came in and they wanted to open a business account or title their checking account in the name of the trust, I would have to run the trust by the legal team or document review. And a lot of times I learned that such big processes like this don't take one day. I had to communicate what the legal team was telling the customer to do and spin that news in a more positive light where the customer would understand it's for their benefit that we need all the right paperwork. And this was not just with legal review, but all the different departments that we have, where I would communicate what the customer was frustrated about to this department and say it in a professional manner in front of the customer, and really persuade the person on the phone that doesn't see the customer's emotion, doesn't see their frustration, to try their very best to find the best solution, to look at the policies, help me look at the Chase policies, the state policies, the federal policies, see if there's any way we can help. And that was very, very important to me. As well as what I learned was all the different personalities that you meet in banking. You have people that come from different religions, different backgrounds, different races, different ethnicities, different nationalities, different styles of people. Some people are aggressive, some people are laid back, and you just have to know who your audience is and know how to connect with them. And that was one thing I was really proud to say that I learned how to do, was connect with my audience. And the best way I did that was just the more they talked about themselves, the more at ease they were, the more I learned about them, what was important for them, their worries, their fears, and their dreams. And that's how I was able to be very successful as a banker overall. The last thing I want to touch on is what my colleagues would say if you hired me for the role, and what they would say at my 1-year anniversary. And I believe they would say that you did a fantastic job in hiring a candidate that does the research, that does the independent part of it and knows how to work by herself, knows how to make sure deadlines are met, knows how to work with other people, and just has great work ethic, is a trustable person, is loyal, and values the state of Arizona, and is going to do a good job to make sure that everything is presentable, all the details, all the different angles are considered, the precision, the details, and the multitasking and the communication is all part of being a financial analyst. And they would say that you did a great job, and I have proven that through my work history. So I would be so honored to be given the chance to be a financial analyst. Like I said, it is part of my career goal and my passion to work for the state. So if I could tie it in together and make Arizona better, then that is what I'm here to do. So thank you so much for your consideration. I really look forward to hearing back from you.